ساتوی پسروینو داد شهیدانو کور داد باتورانو کور داد باتورانو کور داد باتورانو کور داد باتورانو کور ساتوی پسروینو داد شهیدانو کور داد کور داد باتورانو.
Good evening. It's Wednesday, November 13, 2024. I'm Suleiman Talash and you are watching RTA News. In Sports Stadium of Paktia Province, a murderer named Muhammad Ayaz was sentenced to retaliation punishment or qisas who had killed a person with a gun. The case was examined very precisely and repeatedly by Tribal Military Court of Islamic Emirate in different ways. As a result, the order of retaliation or qisas was issued and approved. This case was represented to the Amir al-Mu'minin Hafazahullah, the leader of the Islamic Emirate, for its approval. An extraordinary investigation was also conducted by Amir al-Mu'minin Hafazahullah, who issued the final order for implementation. The victim's family was given the option of forgiveness and reconciliation. However, after the refusal, the religious qisas ruling was ordered to be applied to the murderer. The Supreme Court was received directions to execute this qisas ruling today in the presence of the public. The Economic Deputy of the Islamic Emirate has informed about the regular meeting of the Technical Committee of Economic Commission. In this meeting, officials, while discussing the self-sufficiency plan in the poultry sector in the country, said that with the implementation of this plan, Afghanistan has reached complete self-sufficiency in this area, and employment will be provided to about 700,000 citizens of the country directly and indirectly. Mullah Hidayatullah Badri, the Minister of Mines and Petroleum, met with Qazi Zainul Abidin, the Governor of Nuristan. In this meeting, the purpose of better management of the mineral resources of the province, especially precious and semi-precious stones, to create more coordination between the two sides to start mining projects for the purpose of economic growth and development, and they discussed and talked about raising the level of revenue and creating jobs for the local people and financing construction projects through mining revenue in the mentioned province. During his visit to Uruzgan province, Education Minister Maulavi Habibullah Agha met with the governor and a number of local officials of Uruzgan province and discussed improving the educational situation and construction of schools in the province. According to the Ministry of Education, local officials in Uruzgan welcomed the ministry's efforts to improve the education situation in the country. Meanwhile, the Minister of Education assured that development projects would be established in the province. A meeting was held under the leadership of Mullah Aminullah Obaid, the Governor of Kabul, in the presence of the civil and military officials of the province regarding the new decree of the leader of the Islamic Emirate for the registration and maintenance of governmental properties. In this meeting, Mr. Obaid asked all the officials and Mujahideen of Kabul province to implement the new decree of Amir al-Mu'minin Hafazahullah, like his other previous decrees, in order well as obedience in this meeting, and adding that the survival of the government depends on the obedience of the leaders from the people and officials. Mullah Abdul Latif Mansoor, the Minister of Energy and Water, says that the underground water level is decreasing day by day. According to the minister, the efforts for water management have been expanded. Currently, 4 large water dams and dozens of small dams have been built across the country, and the rest of the works will start soon. Let's see more in the report. During the research seminar on ways to make the most of the country's water resources, the officials of Afghanistan's Scientific Academy asked people to pay attention to saving water in their daily life.
We have cadres, we have scholars in Afghanistan, and our government and people are united, alhamdulillah. And water only needs management. We have organized this conference about this management.
Mullah Abdul Latif Mansour, the Minister of Energy and Water, says that the continuous use of water through solar power reduces the level of underground water.
Each person or farmer can put a solar panel and put it to the sun and meet his needs through it. When one travels by air and looks down, then he realizes how wastefully and unnecessarily we use water.
In the message sent to the seminar by the Prime Minister of the Islamic Emirate, emphasis was placed on the continuation of research on water management and saving in daily life.
It is our responsibility to protect water resources, use them responsibly, and prevent them from being wasted. To reach this goal, each of us has a responsibility to pay more attention to water saving and management in our daily life and to preserve this precious resource for future generations.
At the same time, in the message sent by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, he emphasized on correct, reasonable, and joint cooperation with their neighbors in order to meet the needs of the water from the rivers crossing the border of the country.
The Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan believes that water, like any other resources, can bring Afghanistan and neighboring countries closer to explore their potential. This is possible when partner countries choose appropriate, fair, and reasonable ways to use water.
At the end of the seminar, which was organized by the Afghanistan Academy of Sciences, scientific and research papers were shared with the officials and participants in relation to the research on ways to use the country's water resources properly. The Ministry of Communication and Information Technology has announced the new prices for internet and voice packages of telecommunication networks. Maulavi Najibullah Hayat Haqqani, the Minister of Communication and Information Technology, says that in the near future, in order to solve the communication problems, a comprehensive and secure system will be created which will have good quality at the regional level. Let's see more in the report.
Officials at the Ministry of Communication and Information Technology have set new prices for internet and voice packages for telecommunication networks. The officials say that, according to the people's demand, they have made the issue of voice communication and network prices one of their priorities.
In the year 1400, we had 7,556 antennas in all of Afghanistan. Now this number has reached 8,391. While we are implementing the 10th project, this number will increase to 9,000.
Officials inform to build a comprehensive and secure system to solve communication problems within the next 5 months, through which internet services will be in good quality in the region. The ministry also announces the implementation of 13 projects worth $250 million across the country.
In the next 5 months, the 10% transparency guarantee, which is also a guarantee now, will be improved, and there will be a special system to solve the existing problems with this comprehensive system. In total, the Ministry of Communication and Information Technology has implemented projects worth 250 million Afghanis in the field of information technology. As we have said that these projects are in the field of information technology, and each of them creates facilities in the country.
According to officials, currently 26 million SIM cards are active in the country, of which 14 million have been re-registered.
The residents of Kabul participated very well in this process. About 20% is left. This process is going on in the large cities of the country, and unregistered SIM cards are being successfully registered.
In the newly set price ceiling, the price of a minute of voice communication between customers within each network is 1.30 Afghanis. The price of a minute of voice communication between customers from one network to another network is 1.40, and so on. The price of a GB monthly internet package has been set at 95 Afghanis, which has decreased compared to the previous one.
Dr. Muhammad Naeem, the ambassador of the Islamic Emirate to Qatar, participated in the celebration of the International Human Rights Day at the official invitation of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Qatar. The ambassador of the Islamic Emirate to Qatar wrote on his X page that this ceremony was organized by the National Human Rights Committee of Qatar. The leadership meeting of the Ministry of Energy and Water was held regarding the arrangements of the year 1404 under the chairmanship of Mullah Abdul Latif Mansour, Minister of Energy and Water. In this meeting, to standardize the composition of the said ministry, they used the budget of the current year to organize the composition in the next year to find the necessary ways to solve the financial and procurement problems were discussed, and necessary decisions were taken about this regard. The Department of Rural Rehabilitation and Development of Bamiyan Province distributed food aid to more than 1,500 needy families in Shigan district with the financial assistance of the World Food Programme. Meanwhile, the Department of Rural Development and Rehabilitation of Laghman Province distributed food packages to 700 needy families with the financial assistance of the mentioned organization. And that's all for tonight. Stay with us to stay updated. Have a good night.
ساتوی پسرو وینو دا د شهیدانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور ساتوی پسرو وینو دا د شهیدانو کور دا